Hello YouTube friends, we've got another countdown to Christmas video this morning that I want to make with you. I've wanted to make this for a little while, but today's the day. So first of all, I'll unpack all the bits and pieces that we need. We need tape. I've got them all in this bag here. It's a very seasonal bag with mince pies all over it. So what have we got then for this particular Christmas make? We need gloves. I need a soft place to put something down. I need wire. I must get the pliers so I can cut that. Although what I've got here is all the wire I could find in my drawer in the table. I don't know where all this came from, but I've got all sorts of bits and pieces of wire. And I think some of these might do. So we may not need pliers after all. So I'll put all the wire there. We don't need that yet. More wire. I think this is florist wire that I got from somewhere. I don't know where. We need a hammer. It's going to get loud, this video. And then we need something that I've got in the freezer. Now my freezer is outside. So I'm just going to go with this bag then and collect what I've got in the freezer. Are you intrigued? Okay, I'll be back in a moment. Chat amongst yourselves. Okay, I'm back. And first of all, I'll just explain. I've got you tipped on sideways because although it's winter, the sun doesn't really get very high in the sky. And so at this time of year, it actually comes through the stained glass window really brightly. So I've moved us round so that you haven't got that brightness in the background of what we're doing. Okay then, so this is a curious collection of things, isn't it? What have we got? I'll show you. Excited for this one. So these are just old gardening gloves. Gardening gloves on. And what I've got here then is a washed out cat food tin that I've filled with water and put in the freezer. Now my freezer's in the shed outside, so that's where I've just been to get these. So what on earth is she doing? What's she doing now? Okay then, so what I need now there's a few different ways you can do this. In this bowl here, I've got a thickish nail and I've got some thin nails as well. Okay, this is what we're going to do. So the pad here is to hold it still, and the first thing I'm going to do is knock a nail in the top and then correspondingly opposite here. Now you can see straight away, can't you, that if I was to try and hammer a nail into a tin without there being something inside to keep it stiff, the tin would collapse. So we're going to make tin lanterns. The first holes I've done here at the top and the bottom, that's where the wire's going to go through. And I'd say to you, don't get carried away with your design until you've done those holes, because we're then going to put wire across the top there to hold the lantern up. And now you can do whatever you like. Now there's different ways of doing this. You can just randomly put holes in, and I might do that with the first one. But then, excuse me, you can get some paper and make a template and do a really beautiful design. So if you wanted to do this really carefully, maybe you want to write a kid's name or something like that, or Noel or something like that. So you want to fold the paper so it's the right size. Because you might start a design and then you get halfway round and find that you've run out of tin. So we're going to cut that there as well. So that's how big my template needs to be. And so then if you want to, you can just make, I'm doing this very quickly, because actually I think they look nice if they're a little bit, you can make beautiful designs, of course you can, but I'm going to put dots there and another one there, and then, so like so, and then I'm just going to do some zigzags. And then that's a guide for me to do my nails. So that's the simplest design there, just a little zigzag like that. So let's do that one. Okay, back with my little soft pad to hold it on. And I'm going to glue that on, not glue, I'm going to stick it on with a little bit of tape. And just check that there's a hole there where there should be one. Okay, so there's my design around the middle of the tin. If you make these ahead of time, you can get really careful with how you make the designs. And we're just going to knock the nail so that we can tell it's gone through the tin. And this is a biggish nail, and I've got some smaller nails as well that will make tinier holes. Whoops-a-daisy. So you can see, can't you, the ice? You couldn't do this if you didn't have the ice in there. I've done this with, I've done this a few times with kids at Christmas. It's a fantastic, fun thing to do, because by the time you've finished putting your design on, then you put it in hot water and melt all the ice out. And that's where the kids say, "Oh, but I haven't put any holes for the wires, Kate." And you think, well, put holes for the wires first, so that you know you've got them. Okay, so I've gone all the way around the orange dots there. Now I'm going to take the smaller nail and just do some smaller holes parallel to it. Yeah, we'll just mirror the holes. Draw them if you like. Whoops. But I'm going to just do like a centimetre or half an inch above every one of those dots. Now, these are cat food tins because I get through quite a lot of cat food. I don't, the cats do. Maybe 3 tins a day. So I have a big recycling bag next to where I feed the cats. Okay, let's let that one melt out. I've done that one too far in. Got another nail. But then I was thinking it'd be quite nice to have some other sizes so that there's a variety. And which is why I now confess to you, if you watch the mince meat making video, that's why there's pineapple in it. Because it was in a nice sized tin. It's the only reason I put pineapple in my mince, because I've got a lovely tin. And we need you out. Out you come. There we go. And I need that one now. So yeah, this is a fantastic thing to do with kids. So that's got 2 rows round it now. I'm going to go ahead and put a 3rd row, a centimetre underneath the dot, so that there's like 3 rows of zigzags there. So you could write your kid's name. If you got really carried away, you could write Merry Christmas. When I've done this with children, I've kind of cautioned them against doing too complicated a design in favour of doing a nice all over design like this, because it can get quite involved, and then when you finally light it, you can't actually see the design terribly well, and then they get discouraged. But yeah, you do what you like. Now that you've got the basic premise, do what you like. So the other day, I have a very good friend who I met after pottery one day, and we went for a coffee to a new place that I'd never been to before. It was lovely, absolutely lovely. And when I was coming back from the toilet, I noticed that the kitchen part had all their stores just there, lined up on shelves alongside the corridor. So I asked them, because I'm me, if they could let me have one of their big tins. So I've got this one. Isn't that cool? That one had a catering size one of tomatoes. So that's a lovely big one. I'll make a design for that. So now we can take the paper off. And then what I'm going to do with all of these, I'm going to do them all because they're all here and I don't want them to melt. Of course, if you take it off more carefully, you can use it again. And that's good enough for me. It's got a nice zigzag round it and 2 holes for the wire, most important. And then what we're going to do when we've got them all is just put them in the sink full of hot water. We'll get back and do that bit soon. But I'm going to do a few more now. Shall I do that? So let me show you the pineapple tin. So I bought that one. So this is cat food here, there. That's the pineapple one. And this one here, this one was baked beans. So one night I had baked potato with baked beans and grated cheese so that I could use the tin. You do. I'm going to go get on now, and I'm going to do all of the designs on these, and then we'll get back and do the next phase. So here we are. And now we need to put the wires on. Let's look at the wires. This one here, I've done a name on it, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what that one looks like when it's lit up. So I'll get on and do the rest of these, but then I think we might have to wait for it to go dark. It's 1:30 now. It'll be dark in 3 hours' time. So I'll bring you back when they're finished, all the wire hooks on, and when I put the candles in the dark, see what they look like. Please let me know in the description whether you try these. I'd love to know whether you try them and if they work. And whether you try them with children, because in my experience, kids really, really enjoy doing this. And then what we need now is candles to go inside each of them. I've got a big candle to go inside this big one. Maybe it needs 3 or 4 candles, that one. 4 candles. Okay, so how many did we make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. I'm just twisting it round once and poking it down inside the tin. That's going to be strong enough. It's only got to hold the candle.